Oh, hey, didn't see you there.
Welcome to the Know and Grow podcast. We're your hosts, Lucas Draffin,
Madison Van Matron,
and Jonah Hoffmeyer.
Come along with us as we share the generational work of God through story and conversation. Let's jump right into it!
Well, it's been a while since we've been in the studio, guys. How do we feel?
Just as cramped as ever.
This room used to be full of things. We'll talk more about why this room was full of things, but it feels good to be back into the...
We'll talk more.
You know me, Mad-Dawg. Very sus.
So supportive of you.
Jonah has made so many comments about how he's awkward and makes people feel uncomfortable.
He's
and
not
how
an awkward
he's
person,
sus.
but maybe, I don't know.
Now you're overthinking it. Am I an awkward person?
Now he's making you uncomfortable.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe that was all part of my plan anyway.
He studies us.
Yeah.
I do that. I do.
You just said doo-doo on the podcast. Jacob Howard.
Jeez.
And that, you walked right into that.
I did walk into that. All right, doo-doo. Anyway.
I love my job.
We love our job here. All right, I guess let's get right into it. Weekly Whatsup. Preface. Summer camp literally just ended how many days ago? 3-4 days ago?
I don't know, Friday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
Sunday night, summer staff totally left. And so we are 3 days.
It's quiet.
It's quiet. It's weird. I walk into work and I'm like, why is it so silent?
Mm-hmm. There's a certain piece about the lodge, the lodge is home to a lot of chaos for a long time, 12 weeks to be exact. But when it shifts into stillness, it's it's got a quiet.
We become the chaos.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We do.
Yeah. So, weekly Whatsup. What have you guys been keeping up with? What I know, Mad-Dawg, you're shaking your head I haven't done anything. I get it.
Is this an honest place?
Yes.
I color.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just got I'm not very good. It's just
Is it color by number stuff?
No,
Okay.
it's very easy and simple. It's called Bold and Easy. I just got it on Amazon, but I got a little devotional one kind of.
Oh.
And it just has here's the deal. It just has very aesthetic photos and then just throws a scripture on there. It'll be some cute cowgirl boots and it's walk with the Lord.
That's pretty cute, yeah.
But coloring has been a relaxing hobby that I can do at night.
Sure.
When did you pick that up?
I had a little era of it last fall.
Okay, when you first started.
Yeah, but then meh. But then I recently was just that would be a healthy thing to do.
Yeah.
To cope. So.
Oh my! I think detox. Decompress.
That sounds really
Be away from work.
Yes.
Cope is wild.
Sorry. It's not what I meant, I swear. But yes, so that's kind of fun.
That is really fun. No, I like that. Is this a safe space? No, we're gonna judge you for that. No, that's really cool. Lucas?
Now that summer camp's slowing down, one thing that I really thought about a lot, this summer is so many campers and staff come here and camp is a really, really, really big mountaintop faith building moment for them. Mm-hmm. But I'm starting to see it differently for us, or even just for myself. Just thinking through okay, everything that I do is leading up to summer camp, right? All the faith, all the things that build up my faith throughout the year are all building up to summer camp to be poured out, if that makes sense. So now I'm taking time to study the Word and spend more intentional time with God. One of the ways I'm doing that is I have my parents got this for my birthday, the illuminated scripture or the illuminated Bibles, every single book of the Bible with a nice little cover on it, good. And then on one side is a scripture, on the other side is just blank. So you can take notes and things like that and draw if you wanted to. I don't draw, but
color.
So I read. I've recently been reading John in that way, and I've been doing it for about a week, and I'm only on John 2, just John 2, actually, who just finished up Jesus cleansing the temple. So, looking at that, studying deeply that, circumstances and...
Jesus having a crash out? Is that what you're...
Oh,
R.C. Sproul would disagree, actually. I would disagree, too. Because I'm coupling that with reading R.C. Sproul's commentary on John.
Sure.
So, I've been doing a chapter of that. So, however far that chapter goes in John, I will go to, and then I'll read the commentary after I do my own, little brief study.
Sure.
So, it's been good.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then Josh Lucas gave you some of those books, right?
So, the commentary on John I already had,
Sure.
so I gave it to you.
Right, now I have it.
Then I have the 1st and 2nd Peter commentary as well from R.C. Sproul, but Josh Lucas did give those.
Does R.C. Sproul have commentaries for every book of the Bible?
Yeah.
dang.
Uh-oh, my wallet.
What about you, Jonah? What have you been?
Well,
what's your weekly Whatsup?
Well, yeah, not a lot. Kind of getting back into it, of course. But what I did over the summer, I got one chapter into Born Again This Way. Lucas gave it to me. I got one chapter in. I was like, oh, this is really good. And I never picked it up again. So I will be picking that up again at some point. I would read a psalm in the mornings. That was kind of my thing for a little bit. I enjoyed that a lot. That was really good. Hey Siri, give me a number 1 through 50, and it always seemed to chose like a very, very like the same numbers. Didn't you find that, Mad-Dawg?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes it would give us like the one about like God being ruler over the snow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know I played Let It Go.
Yeah. But that was good. It was good for me, and I think what I've been most consistent with is Morning and Evenings by Charles Spurgeon. I'd read that in the mornings and in the evenings before bed, and I really enjoyed that. So shout out Spurgeon.
Ooh.
So those are the 3 things I've been keeping up with. So.
Did you know that he once said that there are difficulties in everything except for eating pancakes?
Yes. Well, I find it difficult to eat pancakes. Waffles are better. Men are like waffles. Anyway. You've never heard that?
What?
Men are like waffles because we have compartments.
Okay, so I have big problems with the idea that all men. Well, I know that's not all men, but I have big problems with that because I can't compartmentalize.
Sure.
So you're saying you're a pancake?
Yeah, I would say that I am a pancake. Yeah, everything is affected.
Maybe,
and I think that
maybe that's maybe I shouldn't say that's a boy and girl thing. That's like a
it's just a person. It's just a person thing.
Yeah, because I'm definitely a waffle.
Right, and I think of some of the gals that I know, and they certainly can be waffles.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just.
Are you a waffle or are you a pancake?
I've never thought about this.
Really?
It's if you can compartmentalize.
So waffles, when you pour the syrup. Right.
The syrup is like the problems, or like the things that are thrown at you the daily.
Right. So you can drop one drop of syrup in like a little square of the waffle, and you can drop another one over here in one square of the waffle, and they'll be isolated. Right. Pancakes.
Yeah.
You put the problems, it all flows out onto the pancake. Right. You can't compartmentalize the syrup.
Depends on the day. Depends on my mood. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Sure.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. And I think that there's a difference between being able to switch gears into different things,
right?
I think that's the compartmentalizing comes from. I think for me, the fact that or the idea that those things don't touch each other, because if we're a whole human being, they're gonna touch each other somehow, But that's. Psych.
Yep. Yeah. Tangent, number 1 of the podcast. Let's move on to ministry news. This might be a little bit longer of a section here. So, of course, mentioned at the top of the podcast, summer camp is done.
Dunzo.
Gone. Deceased.
Oh.
Well, maybe not deceased.
Wow.
Wow.
It's gone.
Summer camp is wrapped.
It is wrapped
Just wrapped up with a nice little bow.
Yep.
And
green and yellow.
That's going to be our main topic discussions. We won't get too much into that. But we will, at this point, talk about the 50th.
Wow!
Which was really cool. So I just want to hear some takeaways from you guys, some things you learned. So for those who don't know, we celebrated our 50th anniversary celebration of 50 years of ministry. So from 1975 to now was 50 years of ministry for Inspiration Hills. So we had a big event this past weekend where starting Friday night with alumni night, people who worked here, some past summer staff, all came out and we caught up. Got to hear stories and stuff like that. And then Saturday was everyone came. We had rides, had a lot of activities, and a Jason Gray concert. Rides like,
Hay wagon
rides.
Ain't no roller coaster.
No. No, sorry. That's not.
Bumper cars.
Right. Yeah. No, not that. But
next year.
51 years.
Then we had a Jason Gray concert. It was really fun. And then Sunday was just kind of like a come to church wrap up kind of vibe. So what were your guys' takeaways?
I think one of my favorite parts of the weekend was Friday Night Alumni. Just truly seeing the generations come and within their generations connect and reconnect and like put the pieces together of like, oh my gosh, it's you. But also then seeing the generations interact with other generations. We had older folks talking with our summer staffers and exchanging contact info to be praying for each other, and specifically during the time of worship, just seeing the generations lifting up praise to God in songs that are just truly timeless. Days of Elijah and Blessed Be Your Name. It was so cool, and it was a very special moment during that worship time. So I loved the reconnection that happened with past alumni. And just that everyone shares the same love. Yes, for Inspiration Hills, of course, but like ultimately like for God and his faithfulness that he has shown to this place.
Right.
And yeah, some of those people had moved on to other camps, to other like jobs, but they all shared Inspiration Hills in common. So like Alumni Night was my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the worship. I loved getting to talk to people. One of my favorite stories, I don't remember her name. I'm so sorry if you're listening to this and I forgot your name. But she was talking about how she was here with Matt Dangler, and they started the rumor that there was a bat on the ceiling of the dining hall. And I was like, Maggie, thank you, Maggie.
Yep.
She was like, yeah, we started that because there actually was a bat up there. And then that next week at camp, we just said, hey, there's a bat up there in the dining hall. Now there weren't lights up there to shine up there to show that there wasn't. So it was just dark shadows up there. So they could convince kids that there was actually a bat up there. And that's how that started. And we still did that up until like 22.
I think sometimes it still happens in the dining hall.
Oh, yeah,
I see people pointing up there.
Yeah. And it's just like...
Micah will do it.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff didn't just randomly happen.
Right.
Like, there's actual...
Well, it did randomly happen.
Well, yeah.
So then it carries on.
But that's up to 15 years of people still doing that.
Right.
And, like, that's just a small thing. But, like, that really put into perspective to me of just how much... we do have in common with these people who have worked here in the past. So
it was a really beautiful time, and I thought it was very cool to connect with some of the original board members and just chat with them and hear their stories. And I think that it was just an overly positive and grateful crew that came, and I think that like that provided a lot of unity and. It was awesome, and to know that the Lord used those people in such a way 50 years ago to impact a kid 30 years down the road who spent most of his life at camp for that kid to be sitting as the program director is that's an amazing story that God had weaved, and it's a beautiful thing to see it like right in front of you. So.
And it relates to our theme of, like, Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, forever, right? Like, that really was a great theme to wrap, like, all of the 50th in. Because we serve the same God that those people did 50 years ago when they started Inspiration Hills. So, that perspective is really cool, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Praise.
It really is.
Anything else on the 50th, guys?
Go ahead.
I thought Jason did a great job of incorporating the theme songs that we've used and just serving the needs of the people who were there and highlighting God's faithfulness. And I don't know, I know we haven't really talked about it, but the way that he ended the concert was just a little hymn mashup of just him / some even just like today's hits of Christian music.
Or like the 90s hits.
Yeah, like
Mighty
yeah.
And just him going out to Amazing
Oh my
Grace.
gosh, that was
like
just,
he just walked away.
Yep.
Didn't expect applause.
It was
like,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. For him.
He's a camp guy, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about that.
Yep.
And he understands the type of ministry that it requires.
Yep.
So it just felt like he understood, even though he hadn't really known us. He understood what, like, the things we
what
would
we're
go
all
through.
about, which is super cool. So shout out Jason. You've blessed us twice now for the annual fundraiser and now the 50th. So
shout out Screaming Into Guitars.
Yeah.
Oh my
Shout out
gosh,
Prince.
that was wild.
Yeah, shout out. When he was talking about Prince, I was like, oh my goodness.
What is happening?
Also, it was kind of funny to see like some of the same jokes he would use from the annual fundraiser. I was like, this guy. I tell you what.
I mean, they all have their thing, but there's a lot of jokes that we didn't hear.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he was a little sicky.
Yeah.
So
And he sounded phenomenal.
he sounded really good.
He did.
And he's so funny. He's so humorous. He's so just like go with the flow.
Yep.
Like
I talked to him afterwards, and he's like, I felt bad. I didn't play I Am New. And I'm like, you know what? That's okay.
It's okay.
You played the final one you played. You played,
Remind Me Who I Am.
Thank you.
Whoop,
So,
whoop.
and that got like summer staff going.
Oh, we had a mini mosh pit. Shout out Ellie.
Mini mosh pit, yeah, for sure.
Shout out Jackie, the host. She was in the mosh pit.
Was she really?
Yeah. Jackie was the second one in the mosh pit, and then everyone else went boom. It was so fun.
It was great.
So
really cool way to end the summer camp season celebrating.
Yep.
So
it was.
Praise God,
Connecting with
hallelujah.
people. Yep. Other ministry news: Warrior Run, September 13. Come on out. We have to plan that yet, but you know what? 5K run, mile run. Come on out.
3.1.
3. Thank you.
3.1.
3.2 actually is 5K.
I think it depends on who you ask.
Chat.
My cross country coach would always say 3.1.
My cross country coach would always say 3.2.
I didn't do cross country.
Coach Brunstig.
All right, so let's move into summer camp debrief. So, Mad-Dawg, I think you've got our first question here.
All right, I'm curious to know, how did you guys feel coming into the summer? And what you thought might happen, and how do you feel now?
Well, I came into it with a big fear of being complacent, with it being my fourth summer on full-time staff, my 8th summer in total. So I'm just like, it's fine. I just need to make sure that I keep pushing myself. And I do not need to go far to realize that, all right, complacency is just not going to be a problem this summer. So definitely challenging. I felt really challenged this summer.
I remember, I think it was the last podcast we did, Lucas said something along the lines of, yeah, you're going to grow this summer.
Yes.
And I think, like, I knew that, right? I knew that in theory that was going to happen. But the stuff that actually happened and the stuff I grew in and the stuff that, like, challenged me actually, like, grew me in ways I was not expecting.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I should have seen that coming, but I didn't see it coming in the way that it did.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right. And, you can't, like, pigeonhole your growth either.
Right.
No.
And, like, it's one of those things where, like, you're never gonna fully understand it. You're still, like, not gonna fully understand the places where you were forced to grow for years. Right, and you might not even be able to notice it.
Well, I think some of them are kind of obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Right, but then there's
some of them are like right in your face.
Yeah.
Some of them there's like much deeper layers to that growth.
So I'm sure we'll get a little bit more into the areas that we grew in. But Mad-Dawg, I know you were nodding along in agreement to that. So
yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you, Jonah. I vividly remember sitting here and Lucas pulling like but guys, like, what are we? I'm just excited for you two, like. And I'm being dramatic, but like in receiving that, I was like, psh, yeah, like whatever, Lucas, like I don't know, just like whatever. But then to be like, okay, like here we go. He was not wrong. Holy wow, just like everything. I feel like I've used the analogy before, but like I feel like my eyes were just opened up to so much more of everything that revolves around camp. Like when I was a lodge coordinator, all I had to worry about was lodge camp. But now, it's everything. And there's different aspects to donors, to parents, partnership, to campers, to staffers, within us, within full-time staff. Like, there's just so much deeper things that I had no idea that we were even going to deal with, that was going to affect us. And so I know I grew. And so I guess what I'm saying is Lucas was right.
Which, we do say that a lot, Mad-Dawg. We do end up saying that a lot. Yeah. So,
that I was right?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me more.
Off air, we can do that. Well, okay. Let's start at the beginning. Let's some of the first things we started to learn and we think grow in through training. I guess let's start with training. Let's kind of go through the weeks as we see fit. But I think I'll start us off here. I think the biggest thing through training was what it truly meant in this scenario to lay down your time, lay down your energy and your efforts all into one thing.
Yep.
That's something I learned during training pretty much right away. You wake up, go to work, go to bed. Like, that's what it was.
Yep.
And I loved it. I loved every part of it.
Yep.
But doing that for more than 2 weeks would not have been sustainable, I don't think.
Yep.
But you truly learn what it means to sacrifice
you did it for
3 weeks.
3 weeks. You're right. You're
Yep.
right. But being able to truly, like, your time, your energy, everything
Thoughts.
goes into that. To everyone else,
Yep.
you don't have time for yourself, and that's like truly self-sacrificial. Now, I'm not saying that to glow
Hype
us
us
up,
up, right.
because summer staff had to do that too,
For sure.
right?
The whole summer.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, like, I knew that as a summer staff, but I felt like I felt that in a different way, especially during training for 3 weeks.
Right.
So
That's good.
Right.
Because here's the difference. Here's the difference that it's hard to understand until you do it. Right. The difference is when you're in training, like when as a staffer, like you're doing it. Right. You are in it, and like you're physically doing it. You are honed in completely on the one thing that's happening at that time. When you're on the other side of it, you are thinking about the 5 things afterwards while also having to be present at that specific time.
Yep.
And like not only that, but like you're evaluating. You're always thinking like, okay, like is this really the thing that we need to do? How is the staff doing? Like, and there's just all this additional weight that like you just do not know until you're there.
yeah, I mean, physically, I think I was fine. It was emotionally and mentally.
Right.
I was like so drained.
Yeah.
Just because you're the staff dynamics, you're trying to read those. You're trying to read the tea leaves as they fall. You know what I mean?
Evaluate.
That's
You're
veganism.
Yeah. But you're observing a lot of things, and you're inputting a lot of information that you have to output pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole new level that I didn't even realize. So that's something I learned, I think, during training, and that I grew in for sure. So.
Sure. Well, ropes training was. That was kind of something.
Yeah, sure. I mean, okay.
It was great.
Preface, like, this is the first time as a summer staff, that our program director or someone from our staff came in and did our training. Normally we have someone come in and do our training, but Lucas was certified now to do the training. So our time was malleable, I guess, is what I'm going to say. We were more flexible in when we did rope training, how long it lasted.
Yeah.
So, Lucas, I'd love to hear you talk about that, because that was a huge change.
We also saved a couple grand.
Money.
Big ol' thumbs up.
So, yeah, Lucas, I'd love to hear you talk about that.
Oh man, it was just really, just quite interesting, and to solo it was a whole new experience, and I don't know, it's really hard to just kind of put into words like the thoughts and feelings that's into it, because like all eyes are on you, and you're thinking like it's your first time doing something. Honestly, probably doing something with as high of a risk as a ropes course has, and we've got like you two have been certified before. Sonny was the ropes coordinator last year. You got all these other, and you've got some fresh new people, and like you're you're weighing dynamics, and like you're also receiving feedback and things like that, and sometimes you end up questioning yourself. Is that really, what you're supposed to do? Are we really doing this correctly? Mm-hmm. Those kinds of things. And like I had a great time. I thought it was fun, but it was very exhausting just having that spotlight just completely, and going home and thinking about it and making lessons plans for the next day. And, like, am I outputting the information? And, the words that, I knew this with summer staff, but, like, even with ropes training, like, the words that you say, like, they carry weight and gravity, and they will be carried on, if that makes sense. Like, if you have a saying, it's going to be said, right? Or if you say something that you may not have said that is intended to be quote-unquote law, people are just going to take it as that has to be.
Grab onto that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I really had to watch what I said, too, and how I explained things. So it gave me an in-depth look at those kind of things, while also, paying attention to how the coordinator dynamic is functioning. Mm-hmm. 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 So it was quite something.
And we did training in 3 days?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So
was
3.5.
Saturday was testing.
They were long days.
They were long days.
But we used to do that for a whole week.
Right.
Mind you. So it was a huge improvement. We were able to front load the week with leadership training, with scheduling, with all this other stuff, and then we put that to the side. We do our rope stuff, and lock in on that, and that was just really cool.
Yeah.
I liked the flow of it.
I liked the flow of it too, but I mean, I don't know if efficiency is the word, but it might be. Like, how can we just be more efficient with ropes training, if that makes sense? But then again, we have 7 different elements going on at once.
Yep.
Like there's
a lot to cover.
There's rock wall, cargo net, zip line,
low ropes.
Low ropes. Yep.
Ropes.
Leap of faith, vertical playpen, monkey tails. Each of them have like a little twist on how you facilitate.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. It's learning the principles that apply to all of them, and then being able to put those principles into each element.
Right,
for sure.
The nuance.
Yep.
And we can dive deeper into ropes training on a future podcast.
Ooh.
And ropes at the end of things on another podcast, because that's definitely something we can talk about as well.
Something that Sunny wants to talk about.
She does. She will be on later on this podcast. You'll get to meet her. Anything for you, Mad-Dawg, from training? Because I have one more thing too, but I'm going to open the floor to you.
I just remember the power being out. That was kind of whack.
Oh my gosh. What was it, 3 times this summer we lost power?
Yeah,
Yep.
3 times. Once during coordinator training, once during counselor training, and once during the week.
Yep.
And of course we can talk about
And why did it go out during like coordinator and counselor training? Like, was it windy?
I think it was wind.
I can't remember.
I don't even remember, but I think
regardless.
it was wind. One of them was a storm.
Sure.
Because remember we had Carson come in and talk about nursing stuff.
That's
Oh.
right.
That big
That's
storm
right.
that came
Yes.
in. And she's like, I almost couldn't make it because of the storms.
Yep.
So
yes.
that was one of them. And of course the most recent one, where it was out for 13 hours, was
Derecho.
was because of the storms. But I wanted to debrief that later too and talk about that a little bit, because I know that ties into some of the things you said in the past, Lucas. So my final thing I noticed was, like, again, I know this, I've learned this, but I saw it in a different way, was just the forming stages of like a team, right? Like you got the forming, storming,
Norming.
performing
or conforming.
Yep, and then adjourning, right? So like we saw all of that this summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like
Multiple times for a couple of those.
Yeah,
I'd say it's a
exactly.
cycle.
Exactly. It is a cycle. And it's like just being able to see that from being a leader of a group in this way, it was like, whoa. So like I noticed a lot of things that I normally wouldn't have about things of that nature.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that stood out to me. So, and definitely something I learned. I was really quiet. All things considered. Anything else from the weeks that you guys learned? Lucas, I want to go back at some point to your concerns about being complacent I do want to go back to your complacency.
Complacency?
I do want to go back to your complacency.
Complacency.
Yes, sorry. I don't know English very well. But I do want to go back to that at some point. So if you want to go to that now, great. Otherwise, what are some other things we learned this summer?
It was a hard job.
Mm-hmm.
I think on the surface, it can look very fun in games and campfire singy-songy and kids and just being a goofball all the time. But I guess like I said kind of previously, I was just opened up to a lot more deeper things that are put in our way. And we had some very unique experiences this summer with injuries and just lots of things. But it's hard, and I'm gonna use the word coping again, but I think still trying to find ways to see the good, and that sounds super worldly, but like seriously, see that even though it's so easy to focus on the 3% of chaos, crazy problems, but then to, on the flip side, look at the 97% of work that really goes unseen on our eyes in the program's side of things, of counselor to camper relations, camper to camper, and the work that God truly is doing. It's really hard to keep your eyes fixed on that. And so that's really hard. And so I think that was a challenge for myself this summer. But growing in that for sure.
We joked about it, like, it's been a great summer of ministry.
Yeah.
But holy cow. You know what I mean? Like, just a different situation that popped up. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that, like, that is the problem for most Christians, right? Like, that's where faith struggles, you know, is when you have this 3% of bad that you're just zeroing in on and tunneling in on and neglecting the 97% of good.
Blessings.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Gratitude.
And the mercies that are new every morning.
It's
and man, like it's summer camp is a crucible, right? It's where things are formed and made strong, right? And I think that's extremely true of faith. Whenever you're on, I don't know if it's this end of things or anything, you know, like there's just so many things that just get refined and like almost like stripped down, like to its bare layers, you know, and
And if that's not built on Christ, it shows.
Oh yeah, yep, for sure.
That's convicting.
But praise God for it. Quite honestly, it is fun and
for sure.
You know, campfires and goofy and
canoeing.
Exactly. Yeah, axe throwing and archery tag, and but how can you hold those things in tension? Yep.
The ministry, the gospel was preached.
Yep.
We maybe didn't see the fruits of our labor, but we labored in the field for the Lord, right? And how do you contrast that with the environment around you? Is kind of what you guys are getting at, it seems. So, like, I mean, let's talk about some of those scenarios. I want to talk about the time Lucas just took a vacation this summer. I want to talk about that, because that was pretty wild. So, Lucas, you can preface this one, for sure.
Christy just one day sat me down, and she was like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, Christy, when you ask me those questions, I know something's going to come out." But, I mean, we talked about how, like, the summer and how I was feeling at that point of the summer, and I was not feeling good at that point of the summer. I felt very bogged down. And, because, like, I was on, like, ropes training was all me, you know, like, summer staff training, like, it was your guys' first time for summer staff training. And, you know, we had chips going on the first week of camp, and then the first weekend, then we had family day, all these things, and like just with everything like settling in, like everyone was like settling in, and when you settle in is when a lot of the like not cracks, but like a lot of the
Stuff bubbles up.
Exactly. And even outside of programs department, things pop up and things like that. So I was just frustrated and done. But, something else that was new for me this summer was being married.
Shout out, Grace.
So just trying to find ways to spend time with Grace. And Christy, that's almost kind of where, like, the mentality that it sprung from, with where Christy was like, you need to take some time with your wife. And she granted that and allowed that, and you two got to take the reins.
Whoop whoop. That was a high five.
Thank you. We didn't just clap. So, Mad-Dawg, what are some things, like, I know we debriefed it on our own, but what are some of the things that, like, jumped out to you? Because, like, basically we were programs for a week. There's no Lucas on campus. We were, like, doing it.
Yep.
So, like, what kind of stuck out to you?
So many things. My brain was constantly thinking through all things and never really got to, like, shut off. And so that was just very interesting. We've joked a lot about it this summer, but I did not realize that you need to be a professional meteorologist to be a summer camp professional. Like, you are always looking at that weather, you're looking at that radar, shout out KTIV, shout out Jacob Howard, all the things. But I guess, like, and I know Jonah and I talked about it, like, not that it's a bad thing, but we do rely on Lucas for a lot, which is super cool that we have a boss that we can rely on, and, Anyways, but when that is taken away, like, I know I was challenged to step up more and to get out of my comfort zone, and that was really good for me. And not that I hadn't done that at all, but it really pushed me to be a lot more intentional, to be a lot more present, because I had to be. And that was just really cool to see how that doesn't have to happen for me to step up or for me to be more intentional. And so I think that's something that I will think about more and try to bring into next year from my point of view. So that was it was really cool, and definitely a growing week for sure. And we were thrown a lot of situations, and we said that too, if it would have been an easy peasy week, we would have been able to sit back and kick back our feet. But it was really cool that we really got to deal with a lot of parent relations, homesickness, regular sickness, just insane circumstances. But it was cool to see how we were able to work together to figure it out and keep everyone alive.
Right. I couldn't do that. Lucas, I'm not very comfortable with that. I would like to see how you would handle that. So that I can learn.
No, we didn't. We could not defer.
No, we could not defer.
It was
that.
us, which
so
was
we just
crazy.
had to do it, and so
that was good.
Yeah, no, it was good, and that was a big growth aspect from this summer. It was like week 7.
Yep.
I think it was week 7. So just so many things, but that I'm gonna call it dependency on Lucas. To me, it's like he's the authority, so I don't want to undermine my authority by making a call and then having Lucas override it. So it's like this, like, it's a respect thing to me.
Yeah.
But when he's gone, it's like we have to make that decision. Yeah. We have to logically think through it. That's another thing, like the whole summer, like logically thinking through different scenarios and just being able to just do it.
Yep.
There was a lot of that this summer. Because, like, for example, camper is like, I'm homesick. Like, you have to logically think, all right, when is the step to call the mom? When is the step to tell them they can suck it up and deal with it? Like, where is that line? And you have to find that as you're going on. That's just one example of many examples that we could use. But being able to logically think through scenarios and execute.
Yep.
I will say that this summer I think we were a lot more protocol driven.
I love protocol.
There was a lot more. There were things that, like, were black and white, and we went by facts, not feelings.
Yep.
Right, and I think that's super. I think that was a step in the right direction.
Yes.
This summer.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What do you mean by facts over feelings?
Weather
is huge, but also, like, just behaviors and like chains of things actually being followed and, like, follow through on. And, because I think that's just so huge, and, like, you can lean back on those kinds of things. And without it, you're just, like, going by your feelings. Yep. And if you're going by your feelings, like, those feelings are just going to change moment by moment.
Yep. Any other things? Okay, look, we haven't talked about God sightings. How did we see God move? How, through our summer staff, through campers, like, what difference in ourselves, I guess? Like, what did we see? I
think something we mentioned a lot. Yes, like overall, our staff was very self-sufficient, but specifically with each camp, our coordinators we're a very strong team, and we had to be self-sufficient lots of different times this summer with weather, with, again, just little crazy scenarios, but not only seeing God move in just providing us with staff, but providing us with a really strong team of coordinators to then do a really great job of leading the counselors and helping them along the journey of being a counselor at Inspiration Hills. So shout out summer staff. You guys rocked it this summer and made our jobs joyful and a lot easier and a big blessing. Yeah. So it was super cool to see them work, but also just to get to know them and build relationships and see how God's working in their personal lives and providing things. And each, 31 staff members we had, I mean, each of them has a story of how they were called here, of how God's currently working in their life, what's next for them. And it feels really cool to be a small part of that story for their time here for 3 months.
Yep. And that self-sufficiency allowed for us to focus on other problems or to continue to develop like us and like what leadership looks like with us too. So God's provision provided for other things to continue and to be handled. So and so that was you're right, that was a really, really big blessing this summer. So I always just love being able to see kids mature and like our summer staff mature year after year. Like it's just longevity in ministry is not a joke. And it's really awesome. Like I think about like John and Tim, and like they've showed tremendous growth this past summer, and that brings a lot of joy to me knowing like, you know, I've had a part of that for the last 8 summers, and same thing with Micah, and like what a blessing that gets to be what a blessing that really and truly is to be a consistent in their life.
A through line that I noticed when we were doing exit interviews with our summer staff was a lot of them mentioned like being able to come back and be able to see campers that they saw in the past and to see them grow up, essentially. Like you see them for a week, but you feel like when you see them once a week a year, you feel like you see them grow up. And to a certain extent, that's how I feel about a lot of our counselors from this summer that were like chips. Right? So we saw people like Faith, Taylor, Tim, John, Micah, Logan. Big one, Logan, actually. Katie.
Full circle for her. With
exactly. So like all these people, like they feel that about campers now. Right. We feel that way about watching campers go from campers to chips to summer staff to coordinators. Like it's really cool to see that. So and again, I knew that going into the summer, but experiencing it is super cool.
Big blessing. I mean, I've kind of said it before, but just seeing the full picture of summer camp operations now to see how not only it's not just a programs thing. We have our buildings and grounds crew, making sure the lawn is mowed, making sure the initiatives are weeded and mowed around. We have our housekeeping, keeping the facilities great for guest groups, for the campers. We have the directors working hard to grow camp and to work with donors. We have Jenny in the office answering so many emails, so many phone calls. We have Afton making social media posts and making the lodge such a welcoming and hospitable place. Every person on the full-time staff plays a very important role in keeping camp going. It is not just us. And so to feel really supported by them in the midst of the crazy chaos. April making amazing meals and feeding close to 200 people a week.
At least supplying food.
Yes, right, exactly. And having it be her first summer. To see how everyone truly is a part of the body and uses their talents to serve the campers ultimately, but to serve God. So super cool.
I don't know, I see God a lot in the challenge. I really do. And I this summer, like I started the summer with like my testimony to the staff, and like I mentioned, like I struggle with pride a lot, and you know that's true, but God really humbled me this summer. You know, and I think that that's a huge God's hiding just for me to become less and him to become more. As painful as that is and that can be, but just being able to learn that in such an environment as this one, that's huge. So,
Lucas, did we talk about your you went in like complacency? You thought was going to be a problem.
It was mentioned, yeah. I mentioned it.
Can we what were some scenarios that were thrown at you or us this summer that really reminded you of that wasn't going to be a thing?
Oh, well, the storm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ropes training. Like that was one where I really had to put my mind to it. The weather was kind of crazy this summer, and there were a couple times where we got bamboozled, and like such is life. But like, I mean, working with you guys, not saying that you guys like challenged me in a bad way, but like just working with new people.
Right.
I think that's really quite something. Learning that you can do all the right things and things still aren't going to work out.
Yep.
Like there were a couple campers that were just difficult. Yeah. Injuries.
I say we haven't really talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the elephant in the room at this point. I think we joke about it now, but every single one of us made a trip to the hospital this summer.
Yep.
And like we talk about inherent risk, right? Inherent risk being on the ropes course, it being any kind of activity you do. We saw that full force this summer.
Oh yeah.
There was the scenario with Frankie where he twisted his shoulder out of place, and he had to drop halfway through the summer, and we had to have a coordinator. Frankie was already our backup, for lack of a better word. He had already stepped up to the plate to be our fill-in, and then we had to have a fill-in to the fill-in. And Paul nailed it. He killed it, right? It was a great summer for him, just hearing in his exit being interview the way that he grew.
Yep.
Fantastic, right? But going back to my original thought, inherent risk is actually a thing.
Yeah.
Like on the ropes course, like
thing.
we did everything right. We went through protocol. We went through everything. There was nothing that was really done wrong when Frankie got hurt on the ropes course. It just happened. And I just never. We talk about it all the time. Inherent risk.
Here it is.
Finally, there it was, and which was really I'm gonna say cool, but it
I'm gonna say cool.
It was. She did it. It was just really good to experience that, I think.
Yeah. No, and it's important to experience that. But it's just the other circumstances that these staff got hurt just was wild. Playing a game. Having an evening run.
Right.
Like, prioritize physical fitness.
Yes.
So
jumping during a final song at the final chapel.
Yeah.
John. Yeah.
There was just almost unavoidable injuries. You know what I mean? Like it was just
they all were.
Yeah.
They all were.
Yep. And that's just part of the risk. And
because all those things are things that we've done.
Yep, for years.
Year after year.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep. And we handled those situations as they came, and I think we handled all of them as well as we could have. You know.
Yep.
So.
Well, yeah. One of the exit interviews, you guys were saying, like, whenever anything happened that didn't seem was supposed to happen, you guys just went with it.
Yeah,
like, okay, cool.
That was a John quote. He's like, when you're acting and something goes wrong during the act, like if you're acting and you're on the mountaintops and somebody's cell phone in the audience rings, you're like, oh, I didn't know we got cell service out here. You said it like a line as if it was in the play, and then you moved on, right? And what John said was like that's what programs did was we took the scenarios that were put in front of us, we acted like it was part of the set, and we ran with it.
Yep.
Which I think is a compliment, because like there is a lot of things that just pop up during the summer.
Yep.
That you just have to deal with.
Just kind of happen.
Well, I think we could talk endlessly about the different things that happened this summer, the different scenarios and the ways we grew, but is there any last comments you guys have? Otherwise,
it was our largest number of campers we've ever served here.
Yep.
Over 1,300.
Yep.
It was our largest summer staff we've ever hired.
Yeah.
The 50th was huge. I mean, this is just a big year, and so I think all glory be to Christ, and He truly provided and carried us through.
Yep.
So just giving thanks to him for this summer.
Mm-hmm.
The ways we were able to see him work and the ways that we weren't.
Mm-hmm.
And we can trust that we can see that.
Right. We don't labor to see the fruit. Right? No. We labor because we want to honor Christ.
Yep.
So.
Well, with that, we're going to move into interviews. We have 2 of our summer staffers here yet.
Here we go!
Helping us with what we call College Week. So we're going to interview...
There's no college.
There is no college this week. But for the past few years, there has been. Anyway, but we've got Sunny and we've got Paul here. So we're going to interview them, and then we'll come back to the podcast panel. So looking forward to that. You ready, Lucas?
Yep.
Let's get him
Here we go.
Well, Lucas, this is officially the most people we have fit in the podcast studio.
Yes, that's right.
We're sitting at 4 right now.
Count them 4.
We have 3 seats.
And one toilet.
Paul is sitting on the toilet right now.
Sitting on the toilet right now.
He did call dibs.
He did call dibs. He wanted this. He desired this. This was his doing.
He brought this upon himself.
So, well, we've got Paul and we've got Sunny here. Paul served as first part a counselor for the first half of the summer, and then transitioned into Wildernnator. We'll get into that a little bit. And then Sunny has been our ropes coordinator for the past 2 years. So, how you guys doing?
Before that, I was a counselor.
She was a counselor before that. So, I guess introduce yourselves. How many years you've been working here at Inspiration Hills, and just tell us about yourself.
Me first?
Yeah, sure, Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Well, my name's Paul.
Hi,
Paul. I'm currently a senior at Dakota State in Madison. Most people don't know where that is, so that's fine. But I'm studying computer education and minoring in computer science. And I also serve with a group on my campus called Crew. And we do like outreach stuff there too.
So that's how you got connected to Inspiration Hills, right?
Yeah.
You had to tell us about how you kind of got connected there.
Yeah. Well, Crew goes on like fall getaways and stuff, and they always come to Inspiration Hills. And then the end of one year, I was like, I don't want to go back to where I'm working. So I was like, I'm going to see what they have. And then I filled out an application when I was leaving college one year.
And it worked out.
It did work.
It worked out real nice. Real nice for all parties involved.
You were kind of a later hire, weren't you?
Yes,
I was.
He was. Yeah. Speaking of late hires, mildly, Sunny, tell us about yourself and kind of how you got connected to Inspiration Hills.
Okay, well, to get things straight, because apparently one counselor didn't realize what my real birth name is. It's Sonia.
It's what?
It's Sonia. But everybody here at camp calls me Sunny.
Until she becomes unhinged. Then she's just Sun.
Apparently. Like the sun, not somebody's son.
Because she burns you. All right.
Let's see. I had finished my first year of college, or was in my first year of college, and I was like, I don't know what to do with my summer. And then my sister's husband
Shout out Lydia and Nate.
Yeah, knows Lucas, and they were like, you should work at camp. And Lydia, my sister, gave me Lucas's number, and I called him up and asked him what this was all about. Then I filled an application, and then I was here.
So I was also in college, and I was working that weekend, and Lucas is like, this person is calling me. He answers, and it's Sunny. And so I stalked her on the spot because the front door. And I was like, that's crazy. So, like, that whole process, you calling Lucas to, like, working here is really cool. So, you go to Dort. Anything you want to say about that?
Senior year, K-12 art education. Yeah. I've been working here 3 summers. First year was a counselor. Last 2 years was high ropes coordinator. And I love it here. And I want to keep coming back.
Yay. Yay. Huzzah.
So, Sunny was hired May 4th. And Paul was hired May 12th.
Wow.
And so that's gotten in like within 20 days of when training starts. So, needless to say,
11th hour heroes. So
Yeah, for sure.
Fun fact: I applied for a GameStop, but they didn't reach back.
No way.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna do
applied to work at a GameStop.
And they didn't.
They never
They didn't
got
call
back
me back,
to
but
you.
you guys did. I was like, all right, sounds good.
That's crazy.
GameStop.
I'm glad I didn't go there. No offense.
Aren't they like
No
all
offense.
out of business now?
Well,
Mildly.
kind of.
It's complicated.
It's dumb.
It's
Yeah,
complicated. It's like Toys R Us.
really
It's
dumb.
complicated. Yeah, so I guess transitioning, Sunny, let's start with you. So you reapplied after your ropes summer, and then we hired you back on as ropes. So tell us about that journey from when you were hired onto ropes to the start of the summer.
Oh, that. Sorry. Let's see. I was hired on as ropes, and then found out who my co-coordinator was, and then people can't see me no more. I get a call from Lucas, and he's like, "Well, turns out, person that we hired on is no longer coming back. Other life plans, things come up, whatever." And so he was like, "What do you think about Frankie?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And so he calls Frankie up. Apparently, he accepts. So then I have Frankie as my co-coordinator down at Wilder. Do you want me to keep?
Yeah. Yeah,
Let's see.
this journey is kind of essential. So,
And then a week of coordinator training. Frankie's shoulder gets dislocated, and he ends up having to have surgery after 3 weeks of summer camp. So I worked with Frankie for 3 weeks, and then he's out of here from surgery.
he leaves.
And then Lucas is like, "Paul." And this is where Paul comes in. Paul then joins me down at Wilder for the rest of the summer. No injuries, thankfully.
Yeah, praise God.
Yeah.
So Paul, I know we talked to you like it was the final couple days of training, and we're like, "So Paul," fingers in the pointed at each other position. "What do you think about being Wilderneder?" So just tell us through that process for you. Like, what was that like mentally for you to like switch from being a counselor to a coordinator through the summer?
When you right after you guys asked me, I was pretty scared, but
you said yes so fast.
No, I did.
That's exactly what I said to him yesterday. I was like, you like said yes, like bang.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll do it.
No, yeah. On the outside, I looked probably excited, but I was kind of scared because I was not. That wasn't what I was like. I guess first looking forward to. I was looking forward to counseling again, but then I was like, okay, I guess this needs to be filled. So I was like, I guess I can do it. I was excited, but I was scared at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. You can have both those emotions at the same time, for sure. Yep.
That's the circumstances that happened throughout the summer for each of you. So what did you learn about yourselves? What did you learn about your leadership style that was prevalent for you throughout the summer? Any of you, it doesn't matter.
Good question.
I definitely had to step out a little bit more than I usually do, obviously, because I wasn't planning on being a coordinator. But I guess I'm kind of the leader, I guess, that kind of just lets things go and give people a lot of grace rather than trying to you need to do this.
Micro.
Yeah, yes, I don't like doing
sure.
that. But
Yep.
I had to learn sometimes that I can't just sit back and let people just whatever.
You have to
I
be
have
bold.
To, yeah.
Yep.
Fix. Well, not fix, but guide people, not just sit back and watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Sunny?
Well, for me, I guess the first switch was I was just not ready for that switch. But because of that first switch, I felt like I was more prepared for the second switch during the middle of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
My mind was already being flexible with who I'm working with, and figuring out working with different people. Things you just have to figure out how you work together, and so being flexible in that I found went well, and it was a challenge in a way as well to figure out how do I best support these different people that I'm working with, because they're going to need different things. And so figuring that out is, takes a little bit of time, but you get there and it's rewarding in the end.
Something we debrief every week and we ask you is like, what are your wow God moments? So like, what are some of your top wow God moments from the summer?
I guess one for me is that just sticks out continually is from the ropes course. During counselor training, one of the counselors climbed the vertical play pen, and it was a challenge. And because of that challenge, she was able to take that experience and apply it to each of her weeks counseling and just moving forward in her life, like taking each obstacle, each challenge at a time, continually surrendering it to God and just like relying on other people. And so that constant, like, one might say the experiential learning cycle.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
And it was just really cool to see that play out and see how God worked through that, because the high ropes course it's a powerful tool that can be used and that God can use.
I feel like that's a little teaser to like a future episode that we're gonna get into, Sunny. So don't go too far.
Sorry,
we gotta hold it. We gotta hold it in.
Excitement.
But yeah, no, the ropes course is a great opportunity for a lot of campers.
For me, mine would be like just being a coordinator. I don't exactly have like direct contact with a group of campers, but still having like getting to meet them and getting to know them, and then kind of just matching their vibe, I guess, is kind of fun, because there was weeks where they were kind of wild at first and I just wasn't ready, but then like being able to be on their level was pretty cool. Like there were two campers one week where the pool was pretty empty. I don't know why, but they were just rambunctious and it was just fun to be around, I guess. I don't know. But like just funny memories and stories, and just how they, especially like how they respond and like respect chapel and stuff too, even though they're that like wild and like just want to do things, they can like wind down and be respectful during chapel too. That's pretty cool.
Can I say another one?
No, you stop at one. God only worked one time.
Well, I guess this one would just kind of encompass a whole bunch of them. Being in a coordinating position, I really enjoy the opportunity that I get to support and challenge counselors to grow, and I got to see a lot of that this summer, of like being able to be there for counselors and to support them and just be there for whatever they need, but also to challenge them to grow and to move forward in their faith, in their counseling, and just who they are as a person. And that is always a really, really fun and awesome experience to be a part of.
There's some people like just have a really hard time like helping their mind or making their mind work in the experiential learning cycle. And the counselor that Sunny was talking about, she knew how to do it, and sometimes into overdrive. But that was really cool. It was like a blatant like bang right in front of you. Like, okay, yeah, that ropes course does good.
Anything else from summer that you guys want to talk about? Want to say? Any funny stories? Anything?
All that, yeah. There was the one time I was talking about earlier with the two campers in the pool, so it was just us, and for some reason, like, he just jumped into the water, got up, he was like, oh, that was fun, he did, like, a cannonball, whatever, and then he just randomly turns to one of the lifeguards and says, have you ever had a hot dog and a tortilla? I'm like,
Have you ever had a hot dog and a tortilla?
Have you ever had a hot dog and a tortilla?
I have.
Really?
Whoa.
They're pretty good.
Actually?
Yeah, I put
mustard in it?
No, I just put a piece of cheese in there. And then hot dog.
It's like a hot dog quesadilla.
Yeah.
Or a hot dog wrap.
What? No, it's actually really good.
What were you out of buns? Is that
No,
why?
it was just
you chose a tortilla over a hot dog?
Yes. Strictly so I could put cheese in the tortilla too.
You
Yeah.
can
Whoa.
put cheese in the hot dog.
You
wrap.
absolutely can.
It's just fun. It's not.
I'm with Paul on this one. I'm with Paul with this one.
I mean, I guess I've never had it, so I can't knock it.
I'm gonna yuck the yum.
It is an odd choice, but it's still good. Don't knock it till you try it.
He's knocking it, and he's not gonna try it. That's gonna be our one of our summer staff meals for our Bible studies this upcoming year.
Not in my kitchen.
Fine. We'll go to Caleb's house and we'll cook it. Whatever. Well, if you had to give a 10-second promo to kind of wrap it up here, if you had to give like a 10-second promo of why someone should work at camp or experience camp, what would you say?
I have mine, I guess.
Yeah, go for it, Paul.
Help others and help yourself know and grow in Christ. That's
mine. That was 7 seconds. Sorry.
Oh, Sonny was counting.
You did.
There are rules that need to be followed.
Paul said it really well. I was just going to say the mission statement. But Paul said it well. I would agree with what Paul said.
I have nothing to add, Your Honor.
Nothing more, Your Grace.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. All right, well, thanks for joining us for this segment, guys. And, Sonny, I know you'll be on a future episode, so we'll look forward to that about ropes. So, exciting stuff. She's very excited. She's doing the Tommy wave right now.
And Paul will host you on our pro wrestling podcast that nobody knows about.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Sure. Yeah, that definitely exists.
What a dynamic duo.
Really?
Yeah, just kind of out of left field for them too. So that was a good conversation.
And just hearing the different things that Sonny had to go through and Paul had to go through to get to where they are this summer was really cool.
Yeah.
So
Inspiration has been blessed by them.
For sure.
Amen.
For sure. So, all right, final segment here, podcast panel. If you want your questions answered on the podcast, you can email Jonah at inspirationhills.org or Lucas at inspirationhills.org. We don't have a listener question today, but we came up with one amongst ourselves because we didn't have one. So, again, send in your questions, please. We love answering your questions. But
we're begging
on
We don't have anything to talk about.
on hands and knees, please.
There's no room for that.
There's no room for begging on hands and knees. But Mad Dog, what question did you come up with here?
I thought of the question, now that summer camp is over, what are we most excited to do? What are we most excited to spend our time doing? I don't know how I lived with
what was life like?
Time after work.
Right. Well, I said this earlier, but I'm looking forward to getting more into God's Word. I'm looking forward to going on walks with Grace and the dogs, and also just kind of getting away with Grace and specifically the Renaissance Festival that's coming up. Woo! On my birthday.
Huzzah!
Yeah, that's right. Seminary's coming, so I'm looking forward to a lot actually this fall. So,
just getting into my hobbies again. Like everything was put to side, and one of those hobbies is like hanging out with Ross, my roommate. He's just like, I get home, I'm like, all right, good night, Ross. I'm going to bed, and he's like, okay. But like, I'll get to spend time with him now. So, doing things with friends, getting to go out and do stuff again is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'd say, of course, getting into God's Word, yes. I will have more time for that, but not to sound like...
Did I get the Sunday school answer? Like, is that what he's implying?
Mildly, but I agree. I am very excited for that, because I have a lot of books that I did not get to read that I really want to read.
Sure.
I'm just excited for, like, the fall.
Yeah.
Like, just... like the vibes of it, like yes,
yeah.
But like just like the weather starts to cool down, football, like I've got some fun trips coming up, like spending more time with Joey, just like hanging out with friends, like being able to like go to my church group and just have more things outside of this place, and that's okay.
Yep.
So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great just season, and so I'm really looking forward to that just transition to something a little bit slower.
It's just a fun season too.
Yeah.
With all the retreats, I love the retreats we have in the fall.
Yeah.
Apple picking, making
fires,
apple cider, fires.
Oh, 3CA. Fall
Fellowship!
Not here.
Yeah, praise God.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun for you guys to experience.
Like, just be able to.
Yep.
Not that I was anyway, but like,
Right.
actually.
Yep.
There's a lot to look forward to in the fall for us. Fall, I was hired on as an intern. It was one of my favorite seasons. So, just with all the retreats and stuff. So, yes, that's what we got. So, thank you guys for listening to this episode. We appreciate it. So,
We are back, baby.
we are back, baby.
Hey, remember that we suck. God loves us anyway.
Are you trying to make it a thing?
No.
Okay.
It's just the gospel simplified.
Okay. It's the, what is it, message version?
Well, no, it's the gospel in the key of Chris Draffin,
Chris?
my uncle.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't he also a Machiavellian?
That's my grandpa.
Ah. I know so much Draffin lore I don't need to know. Thanks for listening, y'all. Oh.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Know and Grow podcast. Be sure to leave a rating and review on your podcatcher app. Word of mouth is the most effective way to share about the podcast, so be sure to recommend this podcast to a friend. Our podcast can be found on all podcasting platforms, including YouTube. If you have direct feedback for us here, or if you have a question you would like us to answer, you can email Jonah at inspirationhills.org or Lucas at inspirationhills.org. And remember, the more you know, the more you grow. And there's 104 days of summer vacation till school comes along just to end it. Thanks for listening.